They insulted you. You didn't flinch. They ignored you. You didn't chase. They tried to provoke you. Loud, direct, personal. Still, you stayed still. Because you've learned, not everything deserves a reaction. Not every energy deserves an answer. Not every storm deserves your fire. They think silence is weakness, but you know, silence is control. Stillness is power. An absence of reaction is the presence of something deeper. The Stoics never chased noise. They walked through insult, through loss, through life, with calm that wasn't fake, it was trained. They didn't act unaffected, they became unaffected, by building something inside that the world couldn't reach. So act like nothing bothers you? No. Become the person who no longer needs to be bothered. Not by opinions, not by delays, not by chaos that doesn't belong to you. Because when you learn to hold your center, the world can scream. And you still move in silence. They say something sharp. You feel it, but you don't swing back. You just breathe. Hold. Let it pass, like wind through branches. Not because you're numb, but because you've trained yourself to not hand your peace over every time someone knocks on your ego. You used to fight back, explain yourself, prove your point, win the argument. But now, you've seen what it costs and what it buys. The Stoics knew this. They didn't try to control the world, only their reaction to it. They called it choosing what deserves your fire. And most things don't. Not every opinion needs a reply. Not every disrespect needs your rage. Not every delay is a betrayal. Not every silence means something. You suffer, not because things happen, but because you believe they shouldn't. You attach, you expect, you resist. That's the real pain. So stop giving your calm away to every small inconvenience, to every fragile ego, to every rude glance. Not everything needs your energy. Not everything deserves your face. Patience isn't weakness, it's inner mastery. Acceptance isn't surrender, it's strategy. And impermanence, that's your shield. Because if it's temporary, it's not worth your soul. So next time it pulls at you, pause. Let them misunderstand you. Let the moment be imperfect. Let it move through you without taking you with it. What you don't react to can't control you. And what can't control you can't touch you. Not every move needs a sound. Not every decision needs a speech. Not every step needs an audience. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is respond without drama. You say less, you move slower, you hold your eyes while everyone else flinches. They think silence means weakness, but you know it's precision, because anyone can react, but few can respond. Few can wait, few can choose the right word. Few can pause long enough to see clearly. Instead of just strike back, the Stoics spoke less and acted better. They knew words don't always clarify. Often, they confuse, escalate, inflame. So they didn't explain everything. They didn't beg to be understood. They didn't rush to correct. They let truth do the speaking. Stillness isn't passive. It's disciplined restraint. The kind that walks away, not to avoid, but to preserve. You don't need to match their energy. You don't need to raise your tone. You don't need to win the room. You only need to stay intact. With your center unshaken, with your peace untouched. So next time it pulls you in, don't fight, don't freeze, just move, without noise. Pick your posture, pick your pace, pick your presence. Let the chaos scream. You move like nothing touched you. Most people lose their calm because they never built a center. They react fast, feel everything, take things personally, because deep down they need something from outside to feel whole inside. Approval, validation, control. But when that doesn't come, they break, because their peace was never rooted, only borrowed. The Stoics built from the inside. They didn't ask the world to be soft. They trained themselves to be steady, not through pretending, but through clarity. They knew who they were and what they weren't. So they didn't chase compliments, didn't collapse from criticism, didn't expect perfection from themselves or others. They stood right in the middle of the mess and didn't flinch. You want that? Then protect your center. Not your image, not your ego, your center. The quiet part inside that knows you're enough, even when nothing outside says so. That doesn't mean never feel. It means never hand over your power to feel right. Only when things go right. So drop perfection, it makes you fragile. Drop the need to be liked, it makes you adjustable. Drop the belief that people owe you calm, they don't. You owe that to yourself. Be grateful, but not needy. Be humble, but not hollow. Let the center be yours, solid, private, untouchable, because the world will test it every day. And if your piece is out there, you'll lose it every time. But if it's in you, no one can steal it. You think it's self-control, but it's exposure. You think you have an anger problem, but maybe you just keep standing too close to people who need a reaction to feel alive. Energy is contagious, and chaos loves company. Some people don't want peace, they want pull. They want you off-center, so they don't have to sit with their own. So be careful, not just with what you say, but with who you let close. The Stoics kept their circles small, not because they were cold, but because they were clear about what they needed, what they would tolerate, and what they refused to become. You're not meant to hold everyone, to heal everyone, to entertain everything that knocks. You're meant to guard your space, protect the energy that protects your mind, because even the calmest soul can drown in a room full of people who only know how to stir waves. So pick people who don't test your patience, but honor your stillness. Pick spaces that don't rush you, but let you breathe. Pick conversations that aren't built on drama, but depth. Not everyone deserves access. Not every message deserves reply. Not every friend is a mirror. Some are triggers, some are lessons, and some are better left unread. This isn't cruelty, this is curation. Because the calmer you want to live, the harder you have to protect who you let in. So don't just train your mind, train your environment. Because sometimes, the most stoic thing you can do is quietly walk away. They'll say you've changed, colder, quieter, harder to read, they're right. But not because you became someone else. You just stopped explaining who you are to people who don't listen. You stopped justifying silence, stopped reacting on cue, stopped turning your nervous system into a battlefield for opinions that never mattered. You didn't put on a mask, you took one off. You stopped performing, stopped chasing, stopped trying to prove that you're okay by shouting over the chaos. Now you move less, but deeper. Now you speak less, but it cuts sharper. Now you stand still, and the world starts noticing. Not because you're faking calm, but because you've become it. By choice, by practice, by letting go of the need to be anything other than anchored. That's what Stoicism is. Not denial, not numbness, not acting like nothing bothers you. It's living in a way that nothing needs to, because you know who you are. You know what deserves your voice, and you know what's worth carrying, and what's better left in silence. So they can scream, they can mock, they can provoke, but if they don't move you, they don't own you. This isn't pretending, this is power. Because calm isn't a mask, it's who you become when peace is more important than performance.